Welcome to my YouTube channel. I'm your entrepreneurship tutor, Professor Henry Buiz of Jomo Kenyatta University of Agriculture and Technology in Kenya. Today, I want to tell you one folk tale of the Bukusu. Yes, the Bukusu, a tribe in Western Kenya, one of the 17 or so sub-tribes of the Luya, call themselves Efwe Lirango Lienjof. We are the thigh of the elephant. That is a self-praise phrase. But wait a minute. The neighboring sub-tribe, whose chief was Mumia the Wanga, is said to be the one who actually gave the name or that phrase to the Bukusu. He is quoted to have said, "The Bukusu are like the thighs of elephants," meaning that their clans are as strong and self-assertive as the leg of an elephant, incorporating into their fold anybody who comes within their orbit. That was an observation by a chief, a king who was Nani Bukusu. But the Bukus themselves talk of Siyanja Barende, meaning loving other tribes more than their own. Yes, go to any organization headed by a Bukusu, whether nationally or regionally, you will find very few of his own employed there. Now, do the Bukusu hate their own, or do they hate tribalism? Well, let that be a story for another time. And here you see a typical Bukusu homestead. In the homestead, as a reducible minimum, there must be round huts. Those round huts over there. There must be grain granaries. There must be kitchen gardens. But of course, what is not seen here is the enclosure of the cattle or sheep, or what you may want to call the kraal. Now, the story says, long, long ago, rain failed in Bukusu land. Wells and rivers dried up. Vegetation withered and animals died. Famine struck and survival became hard. Rainmakers of the land were time and again consulted, but none of them brought a drop of rain. This is one. Rainmakers. Yes, they're doing their magic, but the sky remained without a drop of rain. People prayed and propitiated the great god Hakaba to no avail. Yes, they knelt down, they scrounged, they put up their hands, they shouted to their god, but to no avail. Finally, it was decided that the greatest Omufumu or diviner of the time be consulted, and it was done. "Yes, I see him," said the diviner as he started his divining bits carefully. "A great dragon by the name of Mbilimbili Nyanja, who lives in the far-off seas, has drunk all the rain. He must be appeased for the rains to come. The king must send a delegation at once to go and find out exactly what sacrifice the dragon desired from the people of Bukusu." Yes, that's the diviner roaring and advising, talking about that dragon. So the king selected a band of strong warriors to go and ask the dragon what it wanted. The dragon lived in the central depths of an ocean where water swirled and in perpetual whirlpools. No ordinary person would dare approach that dragon face to face. To the question, what do you want to give us, rain? The dragon roared. I can only release rain if I'm given the reputedly beautiful daughter of your king to consume. That was the demand of the dragon. The warriors returned home with heavy hearts. How will they report the sad news to the king? The king's only daughter. Surely that was a treasure the king would not part with. But surprisingly, the king received the news with calmness. Surprising calmness. He even went on to ask his wives to brew beer and invited all clan elders to come and assist him prepare to give away his daughter to the dragon. He assured everybody that he agreed to give away his only daughter, Selah, to the salvation of the community. Yes. So the wives started preparing beer, made flour out of their grains, fermented it, started frying it on fire, open fire, 3-stone open fire, frying the dough, the flour, to prepare the beer. Yes, the homestead was being prepared for the beer. And those are drinking straws, all of them in one pot, drinking the beer. And dancing, rejoicing. Yes, and as people drank the beer, they freely discussed. When the Bukusu drink their beer, they don't just go to get drunk, they go to socialize. They advise each other. They plan for the community, for themselves and for the community. They mentor the young. They socialize, drink all from the same pot. And they listen to each other, or the elder, or the advisor. Yes. The king appeared calm and composed all the while, but in reality, he was going through mental agony, spending sleepless nights. His only daughter, in the prime of her life, to be sacrificed, just when he was starting to look around for a prospective son-in-law, and yet do nothing to avert this tragedy. Yes, what was ordained had to be. The day to give away the daughter came. People bought countless gifts. Wedding songs were sung. The gift songs were sung. The gifts were displayed. Those are the traditional gifts. Selah must go away. Yes, Selah was really charming. She had a symmetric, tender frame and a mellow voice. She had eye-catching, shapely legs, moon-white teeth, bewitchingly gentle, sparkling eyes, geese-soft lips, egg-shaped breasts. And when she walked, her motion was graceful like that of a goddess. Indeed, she was the epitome of beauty itself, and every young man in the Bukusu land aspired to court her. Selah was carried off and perched on top of the hill by the sea of the dragon. Lonely Selah cried and cried as she waited for the dragon to pick her. As she waited, she sang a calling song to the dragon. Unknown to her, a handsome young man called Mwambu, whose secret love for Selah knew no bounds, had sworn to himself that he would rather die beside her than allow the dragon to take her. Mwambu braved all warning and hid by Selah and would Selah's calling song would answer to the Selah's calling song. Selah calling the dragon. Selah would answer. That's Mwambu. That is it. Eventually, the dragon left his abode and moved ponderously toward Selah. There were frequent lightning flashes in the sky, followed by rumbling of distant thunderstorms. Everyone was so scared of the impending drama that even the bravest warriors had to retreat from the scene when Mbilimbili Nyanja finally appeared on the threshold. Here, indeed, was death incarnate. Selah's voice trembled as she continued chanting her song. Mwambu, who had hidden himself, started shooting. Mwambu shot a succession of arrows, which the dragon simply swallowed up and kept on moving, menacingly closer. Having exhausted the contents of his quiver, he turned to spears. He threw spears until they were all finished. He threw battle axes, and the dragon gobbled all of them. Finally, he was left with a magic sword called Embaluyeluwen lightning sword. Nobody in Bukusu land had ever seen this Mwambu had concealed that weapon. The dragon raised up his ugly head and opened his vicious mouth wide, letting out a flash of lightning and a terrific clap of thunder. Women screamed hopelessly, knowing the next moment would certainly see Sailor down the dragon's throat. The king hid his face in his hands. Simultaneously, Mwambu raised his lightning sword and landed it across the dragon's neck. There was a blinding flash of lightning and a deafening clasp of thunder, which was re-echoed by all the hills in the land. Dark, low-lying clouds floated in the sky and hung over mountain peaks like a swarm of locusts. The dragon wriggled and hissed, and kept on wriggling and hissing, expressing agony and great anguish. Yes. When the blinding flash and lightning got finished, Mwambu victoriously emerged standing over the fallen dragon. He had succeeded. Then song and dance broke out from the onlookers. Yes, singing, dancing. The enemy has been defeated. The heavens opened up and rain poured down and eventually formed floods. It continued raining for many days until the fields were flooded and all the rivers overflowed to their brims. First, it was just little water. In the dried up lands, water started flowing. What was just a little bit of the water turned into storms and the floods. And there it is. Water now came over. The rain had come from the mountains. Rivers formed again. Yes, water has come. The dragon has been defeated. Mwambu had braved it. What was just a stream became a river. And the Bukusu land started seeing vegetation again. Eventually, Mwambu married Sela. Mwambu was carried shoulder holder. Yes, Sela was carried to her brave warrior, Mwambu. Mwambu was hiding himself. The joy could not bring her over. Yes. Now, what are the morals of the story? 1. True leaders, politicians, are selfless. They put the community interest first. They do not look for their own interest. Yes, the king put community interest first, even to the extent of sacrificing his own daughter. 2. True love endures all eventualities. Mwambu had love for Sela, and there it was. He endured even the most dangerous risk, so to speak. And finally, courage and determination can move mountains. Yes, every Bukusu folktale has morals. This is how the Bukusu taught their young ones. And therefore, if you are Bukusu and you don't tell your young ones fairy tales, please start again. They are character building. They teach the future for our children. I hope you enjoyed this Sela Mwambu story. If you did, please like it and please share it. Subscribe to this YouTube. We shall be bringing you more. And when one comes, if you have subscribed, you'll be the first one to be alerted. Have a rainful day, won't you?